Hi everyone, it is Leslie from Lola Bell. Thank you for joining me today for another tutorial. Before we get started today, I just want to say a huge thank you to everyone who has subscribed recently. Again, I keep saying this, but it's mind-blowing to see like the new subscribers and the likes, the shares, the comments, everything. It's been really, really lovely to sort of connect with some of you through the comments and through messages as well. And I know that a few of you have also, excuse me, get my words out, also joined the mailing list on the website and the group on the website. So welcome to all of you and thank you for being here. If you haven't yet subscribed and you feel like clicking that bell icon below, then please do so, because we do, or I do, long form tutorials every Sunday, and then there's shorts pretty much throughout the week showing different pendants being made. Anyway, on with the show. So today I thought we'd do something short and sweet. So you can see I've got two pendants here in front of me. They're both the same stone. They're both marcasite doublets, but you can see one is point up and one is point down. So what we're going to look at today is securing your wires on the back of your pendant in two different ways. So if you look at the back of these pendants, you'll see that on one there's literally no space, and then on the other you've got a little bit of negative space at the top there. So I'm just going to give you a couple of different options on how to connect your wires and how to obviously finish the pendant off nice and tidily. Before we get into that, I'm just going to finish shaping this one into the design, and then obviously we can get to creating the connecting the wires at the back. So what we're going to do here, I'm going to keep these two nice and simple because the stones have got a lot of detail on them, and I don't want to sort of overcomplicate the actual pendant with lots of fancy stuff on the front, because yeah, they are just, they're super glitzy, super glitzy on the front, lots of changing. So I'd like to keep them quite simple. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to give these a little bit of a swirl one way. I'm going to come round, give it a little bit of a swirl the other way, and then at the front I'm just going to pull one set of wires one way and one set the other way, trying to keep them flat, trying to get them so they meet in the middle, and then just pull them up. Pull that one over a little bit more, pull them up, so they can then start to fold around to the back. Now you'll see this one I'm working on, it's already got two wires at the back. These are two of the basically the bail wires that have come round. So you can see these two here are the bail wires that have basically swooped round, and then you've got three on either side, which are the design. So what I want to do, I'm just going to try and pull that over a little bit more. That's it. Fix it in. Now these stones are just absolutely beautiful. I absolutely love working with these. They really are just eye-catching and different, and every single one is unique, and yeah, I absolutely love these stones. So all I'm doing is I'm just trimming off some of the excess wire. So we just got a little bit of shortness here, and then I'm going to get my chain nose pliers and I'm going to work with these two first. So I always move one out of the way, and then I grab, let me zoom back in actually, I grab the back base wire with my chain nose pliers and I just lift it ever so gently so it's just slightly away from the stone, and then grabbing the end of the wire I just start to tease it round and then feed it through. So rather than pulling the wire, helps if I'm in camera shot, doesn't it? Rather than pulling the wire, which could cause changes to the front of the pendant, changes to the wire tension, I try and feed it through. So, and then once I've cut the end off, I just squish it in. So I'll do that again with this one. So again, like I say, just grab the end and you just gently feed it under that back wire, pulling it round, and then just keep gently teasing it round. Like I said, if you tease it gently, you've got less chance of it affecting the front of your pendant. So then I'm going to work with this side first. So I want to hold them with my thumb, and again I'm just going to work with one wire at a time. Exactly the same principle. Just grab the end, tease it round, and just keep gently pulling it round, chopping off the excess, and then just smushing that end down. So you just work one wire at a time. And if you've got a nice, this is a lovely soft wire, so it's much easier to work with than say if you're working with a sort of hard, half hard wire. They don't sort of want to curl around quite so smoothly. But the nice soft wires they do, they're lovely to work with. Which is why I always say, you know, if you find a wire that you enjoy working with, your designs will just get better as you get used to working with that wire. Okay, so then we're just going to move over to the other side. Again, just do exactly the same. And we're just going to pull that base wire up, grabbing at the top, feeding under, and then just pulling it round. A little bit less space now because we've got wires on the other side. Just pull it round, snip it off, pinch it in. Same again. So this is a technique that I use quite a lot. Just wrap it around once. Some people just hook it under and squish it. I like to give it a little bit of an extra grip so there's no chance of it sort of getting caught, being pulled. I think having that extra wrap really does just give it that extra bit of security. So then you just last wire, snip-de-woo, get rid of the excess, and then pinch down. And then I tend to just give things a little bit of a swoosh, and then just check the front, make sure that everything's sat where I want it to be. If it isn't, I'll just go in with my flat pliers, just give everything a bit of a smush. So that's one example. So just wrapping around, pop that one to the side for a minute. So this one I've already designed. It's a little bit different, but I'm actually going to do these wires first because I want this to kind of pull everything over. If I do these first, I'm going to end up pulling the design that way, and I want to pull it that way. So I'm going to go with these ones first. Again, still make sure that everything's exactly where you want it. I'm just going to hold the pendant and then just kick it around so it's all just sat. See where that negative space is above the stone, and I'm going to cut it all off short. So you've literally just got a few little stubby bits of wire. With this technique, you're going to again go one wire at a time. You can see this one I've kind of curled it down. All you're going to do is just push it in and squeeze it. So you can see it just grips onto those wires. Same again, middle wire, squeeze it in, and then your third wire, squeeze it in. Now you want to do this gently because it's very easy to mark your wire around here if you are doing it this way. And then here, what we could do is we could add another loop here. We could just keep it simple. So it's not unusual for me to do pendants where I've got part of the back done with this technique, part with this technique, but it's just doing with what you're happy with and what your design leads you to. But for this one, I'm just coming around to that negative space. I'm just going to trim off the ends, and then exactly the same, grab the end, put it around, and then just squeeze it in, smush it down. Same again, squeeze it in, smush it down, and then the last one, pull that one a bit more, and then squeeze it round. So you can see all of the wires. So it's a bit quicker this way, but both are very, very simple. And then you can see that obviously you've got like this nice different patterns there. So let's get them out of the way. So point down, point up. Like if you've got negative space above this one, you can do exactly the same, connecting it to that space. So likewise, if your wires come close to the top on a point down, you would just do it this way. Different ways of like securing your wires, but it's just a way of finishing your pendants and just making everything sort of end neatly. And then obviously you just want to make sure with this one is just check that you've got no ends poking forwards, and also you shouldn't have any going backwards, but you don't want them visible here. So there you go, 2 different ways to connect and secure your wires to finish your pendant. Anyway, I hope that's been helpful. Obviously, if you've got any questions or comments or feedback or requests or anything like that, please by all means just drop them in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe, like I said. And also I will pop a link in the description below to my website. So if you do want to join the mailing list or anything like that, we do a lot of sort of spiritual behaviors, spiritual rituals, information, things like that, and also the pendants, and then also my Patreon link as well. So yeah, I'll leave them in the description below. But obviously, thank you ever so much, guys, for joining me for today, and I hope to see you all very, very soon. And these bits will be available on my website probably within the next week or so. Thanks, guys. See you all soon. Take care. Much love. Bye.